My boyfriend did something wholesome and unexpected and now I want to leave him. I know this might make me sound like the worst girlfriend in the world, but I've been struggling with this for days now and things are only getting worse. My boyfriend, Ryan, is everything a woman could ask for. He works extremely hard. He was the hottest man I'd ever seen when we met, and he showers me with compliments, gifts, and food every day of the year. We met when he came to adopt a dog at the shelter that I manage. Off the bat, I could tell he was super sweet and caring. He connected so well with one of our eldest dogs, and by the time I was helping his new dog into his car, I was crushing on him. Luckily, we ended up connecting immediately, and after having a long conversation before he left the shelter that day, we exchanged info and began dating a few weeks after that. It only took maybe 4 months of dating before I confessed to Ryan that I had fallen in love with him. I saw him cry for the first time that night, and he responded by saying that loved me too, and I was welcome to move in with him whenever I felt ready to. I was living in an apartment with my dog and 3 other girls, and Ryan had a house of his own at 27, so it only made sense for me to move in even though we hadn't even been dating a year. But things went perfectly from the minute I moved in. Our dogs bonded and I was so happy to have a backyard and more bedroom space. At Ryan's, life with Ryan was like a dream come true. We got up in the morning, fed the dogs together, had breakfast, and cuddled in front of the TV with our babies every night. I had never been in such a healthy, loving relationship. Ryan never asked me for rent and showed up with groceries without me ever having to ask. I always offered to help with the bills or cook, but Ryan seemed to genuinely enjoy taking care of me and the house. I thought nothing could ruin the precious life we were building. The longer we dated, the more intense our relationship became and we started talking about getting engaged. After a year of dating, I was at home looking through engagement ring Pinterest boards when Ryan came home with a surprise that would rip our life in half. When Ryan walked into the living room where I was sitting and called my name, I looked up, but my boyfriend was nowhere to be found. Instead, a guy that looked like his chinless twin was walking towards me and I automatically jumped away from him, thinking there was a stranger in our house. It turned out Ryan had donated his nearly foot-long beard to Locks of Love earlier that day and he hadn't told me about it or sent a selfie to surprise me. Well, I was definitely surprised, but I wish he had at least given me a heads up. I did not like how Ryan looked without his beard. I had never seen him clean shaven and I never knew that he basically had no chin. He looked like a completely different man, a man I was not attracted to in the slightest. When he pulled me in for a kiss, I cringed my way through it. He asked if there was something wrong and I could not tell him the truth to his face. But honestly, I can't stand it. I feel like I lost my boyfriend with that beard and I can barely bring myself to look at him since he shaved. Been a week since he shaved it and the one time we had intimacy since then, I faked it for the first time in my life because I just wanted it to end. I didn't even want to kiss him. Intimacy with a man that looked strange to me was a nightmare. I know I sound awful and dramatic, but I can't cope with my loss of attraction to him. He keeps shaving his beard. It seems like he has zero plans of growing it back, and I really don't know if I can stay with him. If he stays clean shaven, how am I supposed to keep dating someone I'm not attracted to? It's not like I could just tell him to his face, you know, babe, you actually repulse me now. I don't want him to touch me. I don't want to look at him, but I also love him with all my heart.